Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series on the concept of role of mathematics in engineering and real life. In today's discussion, we will be having a continuation of our previous discussion, that is, in probability we were working on Bayes theorem. We were discussing about the principles and its importance in various fields of our real life. In today's discussion, we will be talking about Bayesian inference, updating beliefs with new information. So, in this regard, let us discuss certain important things. Prior, that is, initial belief about a hypothesis before observing data. So, we should have a claim, we should have some hypothesis discussions, and we have to fit in some hypothesis, and we have to check with some alternative hypothesis and analyze to get a solution, that is a conclusion for a situation that occurs in our day-to-day life. Similarly, life is very uncertain. So, in each and every decision making, it is very important to have an analysis. In that manner, Bayesian inference is very important. Second point, likelihood, that is, probability of observing data given a specific hypothesis. Based on a specific hypothesis, framed or fixed, it is very important to understand the probability of observing, that is the chance of observing data. So that is the next level important area to be understood, and more precaution should be taken. Third point, posterior. What is posterior? Posterior, updating belief about a hypothesis after considering the observed data. That is, we can have an updated belief. So initially we would have got some initial belief with which the experiment would have started. So on getting some conclusions and getting some analysis outcomes, so we can interpret the results so that we can update our belief about a hypothesis. This can happen after considering the data. So what is the outcome? So on seeing the observed results, we can make a updated belief on the hypothesis. So now let us talk about Bayes theorem. So as I told you in the previous discussion, Bayesian probability has its roots, starts from Bayes theorem. Bayes theorem is a fundamental concept of probability, which is an extension of conditional probability, total probability, and comes Bayes theorem, where two or more things incorporate into a discussion, and where analysis has to be made in all the three areas to get some result which is connected with, which is dependent on the various events which are interlinked between one another in an experiment. So it is very important to understand the concept of Bayes theorem. So what is Bayes theorem? What is the definition? What is the concept used? What are the outcomes, and how it could be applied in real world situations? These are very important to work with Bayes probability. So that is Bayesian probability. In this context, we should be clear in posterior concept, likelihood concept, prior concept, and evidence concept. That is what we were discussing in our previous slides. So there are things that should be taken in mind while working with Bayesian probability. So thank you for listening this lecture. Thank you.